If you're a landlord dealing with a non-paying tenant, this can be a very stressful and overwhelming situation. I want to be clear up front. I'm not an attorney and this isn't legal advice. What I can do is walk you through the common options landlords usually consider in situations like this, so you have clarity on the landscape and can decide what makes sense for you. There's no single right answer. It usually comes down to your priorities. First option, continuing with the formal eviction process. This is often the most straightforward legal route, but it's also usually the slowest. Timelines depend on the court system, tenant corporation, and local regulations. Some landlords choose this path when the tenant isn't cooperative and they want a clear legal resolution, even if it takes time. Second option, a voluntary move-out agreement, sometimes called cash for keys. This is where a landlord offers money to the tenant to leave by a certain date. When done properly and documented correctly, this can sometimes resolve the situation faster than going through court. The trade-off is that it can feel frustrating to pay someone who hasn't been paying rent, but for some landlords, speed and peace of mind matter more than principle. Third option, a payment plan or court-approved stipulation. This usually only works if the tenant is cooperative and capable of resuming payments. These agreements typically have clear terms, and if the tenant defaults again, enforcement can happen faster. This option works best when communication hasn't completely broken down. Fourth option, selling the property with the tenant still in place. Some landlords decide they don't want to deal with the situation at all and explore selling as is. This usually limits the buyer pool to investors and often involves a discounted price because the new owner is taking on the risk. For some landlords, though, this provides a clean exit and immediate relief from stress. Fifth option, selling after the property is vacant. Once the tenant has vacated, whether through eviction or a negotiated move-out, options often open up significantly. There is typically a broader buyer pool and more flexibility. This path often requires more patience up front, but can lead to a smoother sale later. Sixth option, holding the property and waiting it out. Some landlords choose to finish the process they have already started, especially if carrying costs are manageable and the legal process is already underway. When landlords evaluate these options, it usually comes down to three things: speed, money, and peace of mind. No option maximizes all three. The best choice is the one that aligns with what matters most to you. This overview is meant to provide clarity, not to push any specific direction. If it helps you understand your options and ask better questions moving forward, then it's done its job.